This video discusses about how to create a VPN connection between the two different networks. So here is the diagram that I am going to implement. So there are two different networks, AWS network and on-premise network. So AWS network is in North Virginia region and on-premise network is in Singapore region, and we have a VPN connection between the two different networks. So you can see that we have an OpenSWAN software that will help to create the tunnels, and the encryption connection will be there between the two different networks. So here the OpenSWAN is in public domain, and the AWS network is in a private domain. So let us try to implement this, and after implementing we try to ping from the on-premise network and to see whether the connection is successful or not. So I have AWS console, and now what I will do is I will try to create a new VPC. So this is the AWS network, and we have an IP range over here 10.0.0.0/16, and this is the IP range for the on-premise network. So let us try to create this two VPC over here. So I will create the VPC. So what is the IP range? 10.0.0. So I created the VPC. After that we create a subnets. So I create a private subnet over here. So select the VPC, and what is the name of the subnet? So we'll give it as a private AWS and availability zone. Any zone you can select. So what is the IP range? So successfully a subnet is created. So we'll try to create a route table. So we call it as AWS route. So select the VPC, create the route. So the route table is created. So we need to associate the subnet with the route tables. So let us try to do this. Go to subnet association and edit the subnet association and try to link it and save the association. So after this we try to launch the EC2 instance. So launch the instance here. So select the Amazon machine now. Select the instance type. Next, configure the details. Here we have a private AWS, and this is a private one, so I keep it as it is. Next, add the storage. So now add the tags. I'll give name as AWS EC2. Okay. So next, configure the security group. So no need of SSH. We go for all TCP traffic. So what is the IP now? Here I will give the IP address of the subnet, IP address of the on-premise network. So here it is 20.0.0.0/24 as it is in the diagram. And again I will add one more rule, that is like having ping connection, all ICM4, and we have to add the range. So I'll go and review and launch now. So select the key pair. I'm selecting private key. So successfully the EC2 instance is launched. So after this I will the left part is completed. The AWS network is set. Now I will set the on-premise network. So in order to do that, I will go for Singapore region here. Create a VPC here. So in that I will type VPC. So this is the public subnet. Okay, so we have both private IP as well as the public IP. So I create the VPC here, VPC only. So what I type is it is on-premise VPC. So range I have to give 0/16. We create VPC. So after creating the VPC, we go for creating the subnets. So go for create the subnets. So here I choose the VPC here, on-premise VPC, and the subnet name will choose as on-premise subnet, or you can say public subnet. So what is the availability zone? I will choose first one, and the IP range /24. So create the subnet. So after creating the subnet, we go for creating the route table and create the route. So here I will say like on-premise route table. So select the VPC, is on-premise VPC, and after this create the route table. So after creating the route table, we need to create an internet gateway. So create the internet gateway here, and I will say gateway, and I try to create the internet gateway over here. So attach it to the VPC. So this is the on-premise VPC. I will attach to the internet gateway. So after this, we try to go to the route tables here. I'll select the route table, and what I will do is I will try to associate this subnet. So edit the subnet association, and we select the public subnet, and I say the association. So after this, I try to go for editing the routes. So what I will do is I'll add the route here, and I'll say 0.0./0. So it is internet gateway, and this one is the internet gateway ID. I will say the changes. So now after creating this, I will launch the EC2 instance. I will say EC2. So no instance is running. I will launch an instance. I'll say launch instance. So I'll select the machine. I'll configure the details now. And the next one is like selecting the VPC, on-premise VPC, and this is the public EC2 instance. Therefore, I am enable the auto assign public IP. Now next go add storage. Next add tags. You add the tags here. On-premise EC2, Next, configure the security group. Here I will say on-premise security group. So need SSH here. I will keep it open to the world. So now I will select all TCP and the range here. So what you have to give is you have to give the AWS network 24. So this is the IP of this is like 10.0.0.0/24, and one more is like adding the ping connection. All ICMP 4, and here I will say like 10.0.0.0/24. So I will just go and launch this. So select the key pair. I have one key pair. If you don't have a key pair, you can create your own key pair over here. And I launch the instance. So the instance is launched. After launching the instance, so the two different networks are created now. So I need to link these two different networks. So how I am going to do this? By making use of the Site-to-Site VPN, I am going to link these two different networks. Means I create a communication network between the two different networks here. So let us try to do this. So here I will go to the VPC again, and I will try to go for creating a virtual private gateway. So after this, so create a virtual private gateway, VPG, and after this we create a virtual private gateway. So it is detached, so I am going to attach it now. Attach to the VPC. So here select your VPC name. So it will take some time. So after creating the virtual private gateway, I'll go and create the customer gateway. So how to create the customer gateway? Create a customer gateway, and says CG is the name of this customer gateway, and what is the IP address of this? So IP address is nothing but you have to give the on-premise EC2 public IP here. So I will go to again here, I will copy this IP and I will paste it over here. So create the customer gateway. So customer gateway is available here. So after creating the customer gateway, what is the next thing is I will try to create the Site-to-Site VPN. So how to create a Site-to-Site VPN here? So here I will give some name. We will say AWS on-premise VPC and virtual private gateway. I have to select the virtual private gateway here. So what is the virtual private gateway here? VPG, and customer gateway I will select CG here. Just change it to the static, and I will add this. Change it to the static and add the IP prefix. So IP prefix will be the this will be the IP address of the on-premise network. So what is the IP address of on-premise network? 0.0.0/24. So I added the IP prefix. So after this, what I will do is I will keep as it is all the remaining things and create a VPN connection. So it will take time to create the VPN connection. What we are going to do is I want to go to the route table of the private route, and I will change this go to AWS route, and here what we are going to do is I'll try to go for the route propagation, and I will try to enable the route propagation here. So this you have to do it because the traffic is flowing between the two different networks. All the things are successfully created now. Only thing we have to go and install the open SWAN software such that we can link the two different networks. So here is the IP of IP address of the public subnet here. So I'll just copy this and I'll go to putty and I'll paste it over here. So I'll go to SSH and authentication, and I'll browse the key pair. I'll try to open this, accept this, login as EC2 user, change it to root account. So after this we'll try to install the OpenSWAN software here. So here is what is given in the, I have some steps that needs to be executed. So here is the first step. We'll try to execute one by one the each step. I'll copy and I'll paste it over here. So after this we have this particular file has to be edited. Actually the file is not present. We have to create this particular file and we have to edit the things such that it will work. And I'll paste it over here, and what I'm going to do is I will try to paste the some contents that is present. So restart the service. So try to go to this particular file and see that the hash is removed in the last line. So IPsec is nothing but the implementation of OpenSWAN, which will enable us to create the tunnels. The hash is not there. You have to see that in the last line the hash should not be present. So this is the one of the important thing that we have to look. And one more thing, we have to go for this particular file. It is not present. We have to create this file and edit some of the things over here. So what I will do is I have some configuration file here that I need to download, and how to download that. So download the configuration file. So we have to select which is the vendor, OpenSWAN, because Linux will use the OpenSWAN software, and just download this. Open this, and what I have to do is I will copy this and paste it over my file. So I need to remove this particular line. So what is the left subnet? So left subnet is nothing but the on-premise network range we have to give. So this is like 20.0.0.0/24, and what is the right subnet? It is nothing but AWS network .0.0/24. So after doing this, I am going to save this particular file. I say Control O, and I'll exit this. So after we have done this, we need to create one more file here. So what is that file? So this is the file here, /etc/ipsec.d AWS secrets. So here I will go and paste this. I'll go and try to open this particular file. So copy this and paste it over this particular file. So these are the set of the instructions that we have to follow while doing this. So if everything is fine, we are able to start the IPsec here. So if there is no mistakes, then the IPsec is going to start without any problem. So there is no any problem now. So let us try to see the status of this, whether it is running or not. You can see that it's running, it's active and it is running. So after this we try to go and check the status of the tunnel, whether the tunnel is up or not. So if everything is fine, the status should the tunnel should be turned up. So there are two tunnels. Here tunnel 1 and tunnel 2. The configuration file contains all the details. Just go through this file. So this is the configuration for tunnel 1 that I have configured, and this is the configuration for the tunnel 2. If you want to use tunnel 2, you can make use of these things. Call it and just wait for some time. You can see that the tunnel is up now, able to create the tunnel, and you're able to communicate between the two different networks. So the last thing is like we have to ping and see whether the connection is working or not. So I just ping the private IP of the AWS network. So here I'll go and I'll go to the instance of the AWS network, and I'll copy this IP address and I'll paste it over here. So you can see that we are successfully. This is the site-to-site VPN demonstration. So this is the site-to-site VPN connection. If you like this video, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching this video.